This will be an instructional video on testosterone replacement therapy injections. So we've had some questions. Most of these are men, some women, but most of our guys are doing the injections. So what you're going to get is I'm going to kind of start from the pharmacy. There's going to be two separate pharmacies. Most of you are going to be through the Compounding Pharmacy of America. That's our most common pharmacy that we send. That particular pharmacy will actually send you complimentary larger bore needles to draw out the testosterone. Testosterone is a very thick serum, so that's why they do that, and it's complimentary on their end. We do not typically pay for that. So all of your test supplies will be included within your monthly subscription program, but I'm just going to kind of go over what you're going to be receiving and how to give those injections. That way, if you've never given an injection, it'll give you an idea. So you're going to receive from the Compounding Pharmacy of America, they're going to have complimentary 18 gauge needles that are 1 inch. That is for draw up of the testosterone. They're also going to be giving you 27 gauge half inch. So this is going to be for the subcutaneous or the shallow IM injection. We're going to discuss both options here in just a second. So when you receive it, you're going to receive a little bag like this. Typically, all the instructions are going to be on there. Also, we will discuss that at your appointment. So make sure and check our records for that. You're going to receive 2 vials that look similar to this. So once you get it, it's going to be, it does not need to be refrigerated, so it's going to be room temperature. So I tell people like a cool, dry place. So usually like a closed cabinet, something like that. You don't want it exposed to a lot of heat or light because it can break down the testosterone prematurely and it can crystallize. We don't want that. So usually cool, dry place. So once you get it, you're going to receive your syringes. You're going to receive 2 separate types of needles from the Compounding Pharmacy of America. If this is coming from South Lake Pharmacy, what you're going to receive is you will receive the 27 gauge half inch. It will still draw up the testosterone, so don't be afraid of that. It's just going to be a little slower. You're just going to have to have a little bit more patience with that. It will also come with alcohol swabs. So what you're going to do is you are going to, this is from the Compounding Pharmacy of America. Good news is that if it's from South Lake and you don't get the bigger bore needles, you don't have to change out the syringe. So it's not a big deal. So if you have the extra needle, this is going to be your 18 gauge needle. You're going to take your syringe. It's called the lure lock. You're going to lock it on the big bore needle. It's going to be kind of a pinky color. It's 18 gauge. It's pretty large. That is what you're going to stick into. So you're going to take your alcohol swab. I don't have one on me, but I'm going to pretend. Take your alcohol swab, you're going to wipe off the top of this. You're going to push it down straight in. You're going to invert it, and you're going to pull out what you need. Once you get what you need, you're going to take it back over, pull this out, put the cap back on the needle. You're going to take this needle off, and you're going to get the small bore needle to inject. Please make sure that you are injecting with the 27 gauge needle. You do not want to inject with the 18 gauge needle. You would not like me very much. You're going to get the smaller bore, and then you're going to go straight in. We're going to talk about different options. So when I first started doing testosterone replacement therapy, we were doing subcutaneous, which is in the belly. It is not FDA approved. We discussed this a little bit at your initial consultation or the follow-up from the labs. However, a lot of guys typically liked this. So what I've been getting is a lot of, complaints, a lot of concerns with knots in the belly. It's just because the testosterone is so thick that it takes a while to absorb. So they got some knots, they get some itching. Sometimes it goes away really quickly. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it goes back and forth. So what I'm trying to do is give you some options. So subcutaneous, you're going to inject in the belly, around the belly button. You can go and alternate all 4 quadrants of your stomach. So right upper, right lower, left upper. So alternate those. You're going to pinch up a little bit. You're going to take that alcohol swab. You're going to wipe your belly. You're going to pinch up and you're going to give it straight in and push down on and inject the needle. So more or less, I'm going to just wipe it off, pinch, push, and push this. So if you don't want to do that, or you're getting knots and it's uncomfortable, what I want you to do is we're going to do a shallow IM. And from here on out, this is honestly probably the top route that we're going to go. We've had less complaints. Men seem to really like it, even women. So just something to consider. And usually it's the top of the thigh. So if I stand up, it's going to be kind of that outer thigh area right here, or kind of on top. This needle is not very long, but most men do not have a lot of subcutaneous tissue on that leg. You're going to get into the muscle, which is why we call it a shallow IM, or intramuscular. So again, you're going to take that alcohol swab. You're going to wipe off the area that you're injecting. You're going to take your fingers in between the thumb and your third finger, your index finger, and you're going to put it here and luer lock it. That way, when you go straight in, you can push down, inject it. Keep in mind, again, it's going through a smaller bore needle. So it's going to be slow to inject. But typically, as we get further down in that tissue, it will absorb more easily and it has more area to go. So it's not going to leave a knot, and usually it's not going to have any soreness or itchiness. Now, some people are a little bit different. Everyone's different, but that's going to be probably my primary route of going with injections for men and women from here on out, just because of what we've had as far as information coming in from clients as itchiness and just irritation and the knots. They just don't typically like that. So shallow IM is the way to go. Number one, if you wanted to do subcutaneous, it's not a bad idea. It's just a personal preference. So thigh for intramuscular or shallow IM. You can also do arm. So if you're going to do arm, it's going to be a little tougher because you can't pinch up any, but you're going to go kind of, can you see where the muscle is here? You're going to go where this crease is, and you're going to go up here. This is called your deltoid. So it's going to be right there in the meat of that muscle. And you're going to go, again, luer lock your fingers, and you're going to go straight in, inject, and then straight back out. So that's another area that you can do shallow IM. That's going to be the easiest place for people to self-inject. If you have any other questions, you can let us know. Like I said, it needs to be kept at room temperature, and make sure you're giving us 14 to 21 business days to reorder. That's about what it's taking both pharmacies now to actually get it shipped out. So make sure you don't run out. Make sure you give us and allot us that amount of time to get that ordered. Once it's ordered, then and it's shipped, then you will get an email confirmation. So we are not able usually to check that. That's through the pharmacy. So, but they will send you an email confirmation once that's shipped, and then you'll have a tracking number to be able to track that. Thank you.